Still an excuse. And most people will give up on it. As a counselor, marriage counselor especially, when they come to me and say, well, I just don't care anymore, that's when I turn the heat up because I know they're running out of excuses. Ever been there? Come on, talk to the pastor. It's a good thing, man. It's a good thing it's some light up here. It helps a lot. People be thinking now it's an empty pulpit up here. Just keep on. You hear that? Keep smiling. Oh, that really cut deep. Oh, I never heard that before. You know, as a white person, you got that smile in your teeth is white. I know you guys are excited about getting to lunch, getting to the tribal. You know, that's almost, what's a good word for that? Did you guys have a day trip? African? No, African be Swahili. Why, 2 feet. Brother 7'2" and knock you out. No, I think it's kind of PC. You have to watch out. Tribal don't sound PC. Politically correct. You know what I'm saying? Man, we're so politically correct. We're so multicultural. You can't say anything without offending somebody. So I can care less. If I tell you the truth and you're offended and your foot, you know, and I step on your feet, I got one thing to say. What are your foot doing under there? Just to lay the premise of can you fight better than a blind man? That's a funny statement right there. Can you fight better than a blind man? Because the only thing you have to do if you find a blind man, just stay quiet. Sorry, that's funny right there. That was right on Bob and Weave come in quiet. I'm sorry. I need to apologize to yours that is vision impaired. Like me. I got one of those Bibles, you know, that some guys gave me as the large print, 1 word per page. Had to hire a couple of guys to carry the Bible around with me. But check this out, I love this. Because the Bible is funny. It's hilarious to really think about it because God got a sense of humor. He's got a great sense of humor. If you don't believe that, go back to your rooms and look in the mirror. It is nowhere in the world God did some creation and not laugh. How in the world did he say, create a giraffe? That's a funny looking animal right there. I need to make something go eat it. Lion. What about a gorilla? That's an ugly brother right there. Yes, yes. Will rip your arm off and beat you with the weird end. I told God when I get to heaven and walk with it in the millennial period with it, I want 4 silverback gorillas to rule with me. Because that's the only time I'm going to trust them. Millennium. I'm not going to trust them, did it? Anyone see the Avengers yet? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now you're going to understand this statement. That silverback gorilla to treat you like the Hulk treated Loki. Come on. I'm a god. You can bang, 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 bang. If you haven't seen the Avengers yet, go see it for that one scene. Woo! Verse 1, John chapter 9. Are you rolling with me? Yeah. The same way the woman at the well had to walk through a progression of who Jesus was, every one of us has to walk through that progression. The blind man had to walk through that progression. Look at verse 11, John chapter 9. They asked, who did this? He said, a man. Look at verse 17. He said to the blind man again, what say you about him who opened your eyes? He said, he's a prophet. Look at verse 38. He says, Lord, I believe. The woman at the well, how did she go? She first saw him as a what? Jew. Then she saw him a little better than the Jew. She saw him as a servant. Then third, she saw him as a prophet. And then she saw him as the Christ. And I said, if you haven't walked through that progress, you're not a Christian. It's not enough just to think that Jesus was a good man. That's right. Not enough to think that he did great things and he showed us how to really love. And I get sick and tired of this love stuff. I get sick and tired of men being feminized. Come on. Come on. I'm getting sick and tired of the game of football being chickenized. Come on. You can knock a dude out, go, yeah! Where you sticking? Today is 15 yards. I said, well, let's change the game of football. We're going to change. Let's just change. We'll put dresses on all the quarterbacks. And high heel shoes on all the other players. And then throw the referee in the game. They'll be the only one we can hit. All this chickification of men. God made us men. We're businesses. Yeah. We're made to break things. Yeah. Belts, cut wind. Yeah. Brag about it. Yeah. We heard it. If you haven't heard it, you will hear it this weekend. You got the loudest snoring going on. We're the only people that will take somebody snoring and then laugh at it for the next 3 weeks. That's because we're men. And when a society starts sending their women to war, be on front line, that society is falling apart. Yeah. So I just want to know, are you man enough to fight for Christ more than blind? Verse 1, and Jesus passed by. He saw a man who was blind from his birth. He was what? Blind. Meaning he was born blind. I know that's heavy duty, but I had to translate some of that at times. His disciples asked him a question. Check this out. You're going to love it. Master, who did sin? This man or his parents that he was born blind? What? Now, if you don't know Jewish customs, and evidently some of you have read this, I'm only preaching what you already have heard. Preaching is simply telling you what you already know and haven't done anything about yet. Very seldom are you going to walk in the church or walk in a men's retreat and hear something brand new that you never heard. You may hear it from a different perspective, like some of the stuff you're getting from this crazy guy. But you have read this before, and the worst thing about preaching on familiar passages is because most people think they know it. So you take it for granted that you know it. You know why most Christians believe the Bible? Because they don't know what it says. Most Christians do not believe the Bible because of what they think it says when it doesn't. And then when you really found out what it really says, you don't like it, so you start a new denomination. Why do you think we got so many denominations? Why do you think we got so many churches in the same denomination? Did he sin? See, Jews believe that you can sin before you're born. That's why there was sickness and infirmities from birth, brought on by sin. So the disciples want to find out from the teacher, from the rabbi, from he who is saying he is the Messiah. Messiah. Did this man sin before he was born, or did his parents sin? Check out Jesus. Jesus said, neither this man nor his parents, but that the works of God should be made manifest. I must work the works of him that sent me while it is day. The night comes when no man can work. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. I'm going to ask you a question. How would you like to be one of the disciples? You just ask Jesus a simple question. Did he sin or his parents sin? You know why it's still day, I got to preach, because while it becomes, when I leave, it's going to be night. You're not going to be able to see the light the way you're going to see it now that I'm here. I can just see Peter looking over at Andrew going, does this all the time. Can you imagine being a disciple, man? Can you imagine being Jesus' half brothers and sisters? Can you? How would you like to live with a perfect sibling? Why don't you be more like Jesus? Okay. Why don't you act like Jesus? When he thinks he's God? Yeah, I guess that's right. It has to be rough. That's rough right there. You did it again, I turned into a toad. I don't know about you, but forget about Jesus right now, right? In this passage. Forget about the disciples. What about the blind man? How far is he from this conversation? You got 13 guys at least having a theological debate in front of you about your blind. That's some real sensitivity right there. Hey, you see this blind man sitting right here, Jesus? Yeah, I see him. Did he sin or his parents sin? One of them had to sin, right? Can you imagine? Now, how many of you have ever had a conversation with somebody and you thought about a whole bunch of things after they left you wish you could have thought about when they was there? Oh, yeah. Let me see that hand. Man, I wish I could have thought of that. Guess what? This blind man is full of those answers. Yeah. See, he is a beggar, right? He's out there begging. Only way he can make money, make a living, because they won't have nothing to do with it. He can't go to synagogue. He can't do anything because he is born blind, so they think he's a complete sinner, or his parents are, so they won't have nothing to do with it. So the only way he can get money is to beg and keep his mouth shut. So this man has had a lifetime of knowing what he wants to say, but can't because he wants that ching-ching in the cup.